is Gary Kramer, and I am a writer for Philadelphia Gay News and Salon, among other publications. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this tribute to Laurent Maria. Laurent started his career as an actor. He appeared in several theatrical productions, as well as films such as Yves Saint Laurent. That same year, 2014, he wrote, directed, and starred in his first short, Sunday, which some of you saw, playing a narcissistic pervert who breaks up with different lovers every day of the week. Cleverly, each segment uses the same dialogue, but the tone changes from day to day. 2 years later, Maria wrote and directed his 45-minute featurette, Vins, and a pair of shorts, including Anita. And last year, he completed his first full-length feature, Nina, which you've all seen today. He sent it to me, and I was very excited to screen it. And I suggested it to qFLIX as a program. In the film, actress named Rebecca Marie Chazelet, I can't speak French, sorry, meets with her director, Victor Nunez, played by Laurent Maria, to rehearse the role of Nina in his new film. His methods are critical and exacting, which initially impressed Rebecca, but his behavior soon causes her concern. As Victor becomes more controlling, Rebecca becomes more defiant, and that's what makes the film so engrossing and why I think it's discussion worthy. So I'm going to start by asking a number of questions to Laurent, and then open it up for your questions. But first, Laurent, congratulations on your film. And I'm very curious how you
Hello, everybody.
I'm very curious how you came up with the idea for Nina, which is a very meta movie. It's a film within a film, and it's all about filmmaking, and you're a filmmaker playing a filmmaker. But I also think it resonates in this Me Too era of harassment and how he treats his actress. So can you talk about the conception of the film?
Yes. So the idea of a movie came in 2015. I'm close in life with Marie Chazelet. She's a close friend, and she came to visit me in the south of France for holidays. And suddenly, I decided to create a feature movie for her. And during 1 year, so it was 2 years before Me Too movement. So during 1 year and a half, we saw each other, and I developed the script with her by myself, but she came to visit in my house, and I went to her house, and we corrected each other, the lines where they were not enough natural. So I wrote during 1 year and a half, and in 2017 we decided to do a teaser to get money to produce the movie. And she came, it was in spring 2017, and she came, so in the south of France, if you watch Nina, in my mother's house, in Condon, like Preservative, in Le Gers. It's southwest of France, and there was a kind of it was a kind of magical moment, and day after day we got a mic lent by, for example, Cédric Clapiche, a very important French filmmaker, the Alfredo Salazar, a kind of photographer, a kind of famous photographer, lent us the lights, and I got a new camera. So day after day, we realized maybe it's the real shoot, it's the real shooting. So instead of making the trailer, we did the real movie, and it looks crazy because during the first scenes, the scenes that we made in the southwest of France, it was only her and me, no DOP, no sound. So we did everything by ourselves. When I was acting, she was holding the camera, and so it was like very artisanal shooting. But I was loving the footages, and I thought even if we got money for that, we couldn't get like 1 million. So maybe there won't be a huge difference, and maybe sorry, I'm very talkative. And maybe the magical moment won't be the same. So we shot this movie, and during 1 year, I edited the movie, and during 1 year, I did the post-production. For post-production, and the scenes in Paris, I have a team. I had a DOP, I have a DOP, and so it was different because it was in Paris. So in Condon, we were a little lost. And after I made a fund. How do you say in English, to find money, to get money, thanks to a
Kickstarter.
And I made a Kickstarter, and we got money to do the post-production, and it was a lot of work. Like the premiere was in 2019 in Paris, so it was almost 4 years of work.
Okay, but it pays off because the film is really, you know, provocative, and a nice way of introducing you to audiences. I'm curious, did you write the script for the film within a film? I mean, there are a lot of references to the movie that Nina's, you know, a part of. I know a lot of filmmakers will do that kind of backstory where they'll write the whole fake script, and even though they never shoot a scene in it, they use it as a way for the characters to understand the background of the character that they're playing.
Yes, I wrote the background. So it was, for the part of Rebecca, was kind of easy because I was very inspired by Marie, what she is in life. So I changed a few things, but it's like I wrote the movie for her. For my character, it was from experiences. Your question is about
right, the film within a film.
Okay, the film in a film. And for the film in a film, I was kind of, for example, inspired by Olivier Assayas's movie. I forgot the title. With
LAURENT MARIA.
Yeah, I was inspired by this movie, but not totally. But I was loving in his movie when they are in a Switzerland or in a countryside, and what's her name? Oh,
Juliette Binoche.
Kristen Stewart is the assistant of Juliette Binoche, and they rehearse together the next movie of Juliette Binoche, and there is a scene where they talk each other, and you don't know if it's reality. Suddenly you realize, oh my God, they rehearse the scene. So I was not really inspired by this movie, but unconsciously, maybe because I watched it before. And for the frame in a frame, also, it's, I want to talk about that. In French, we call that mise en abîme. And I wanted to explore the tricky boundary when you're actor and filmmaker, between the real life and the fiction.
And that's the thing, the film percolates on this uneasiness that builds between Rebecca and Victor, who wears her down, and the characters suffer, and there's this awkward dynamic between them. And I want to talk about, and maybe, you know, even Marie can comment on this, creating that dynamic between the characters, because the friction where she appreciates what he's doing and then suddenly doesn't appreciate what he's doing is really what keeps the movie so engaging.
Yeah. For example, you want to talk about the boundary, or in a real life or in a movie?
Both.
Okay, so in a real life, just after the shooting, we had a kind of a little, I won't say fight, but a little fight, because maybe I kept acting Victor, and she was maybe still in a part, and she came again in this house in 2017 to have a real holidays just after the shooting. And finally, there was a problem between us. Like I was maybe too authoritative. I don't know, maybe not, but there was a kind of little. It was just 2 months after, so we were maybe still in characters because we worked on them so many months. So, and in a movie, Victor is totally obsessed by the result of his movie, and he doesn't realize it's pervert, but he used perversion to get what he wants. But I think he doesn't have a distance about what he does. And suddenly because she, maybe I spoil for people who didn't see, but when she tried to be rebel, maybe it's one of the kind of the first time someone does that. And maybe he realized, oh, maybe I went too far. And
yeah. Marie, do you want to comment?
Marie, do you want to say
Yes.
something? Yeah, did you understand? Tu as compris par rapport à les questions?
Yes. Yes.
Tu veux parler des frontières entre la réalité et la fiction in English?
Yeah. Yes, my English is no wonderful. Yes, I think it was very interesting because for my own experience, when we are actor, we like being surprised by something in when we are acting, something that how do you say qui nous dépasse?
When it's over us, it's beyond us.
Yes, and the project of Nina, when we did the movie, we did so many things that we were in this situation. How do we say encore plus more gain than just acting, you know? Ça a encore plus renforcé quelque chose par rapport au jeu et ça a créé quelque chose d'encore plus inattendu parce que something really...
It was beyond the acting because as we were doing a lot of scenes per day, like maybe 10 scenes per day, it's like she stopped thinking about herself. And finally, she was Rebecca because she didn't have time to think about. So when she acted, it was she was Marie. She not completely schizophrenic, but she was Marie. But also, as she was acting all the time, finally she became
yes,
Rebecca.
and yes, and we didn't. How do we say? Nous nous attendions pas. We didn't. It was expect just making the whole movie. So there was something very spontaneous, even more than a movie very calculated with the different days, with all the acts for all days, etc. It was just we did it, and nothing else. And we did the best we could do. And so I think there is something very near from magic, you know, something very far from the reality.
Oh, your expressions are fantastic, Marie. I mean, you convey so much with your eyes in so many scenes. I love the scene where you're brushing your teeth and Laurent's character, Victor, comes in and says something, and the way you just look at him, like, are you crazy? It's fantastic. And I like that you guys sort of played each other or played on each other or played off each other in these performances. One of the things I noticed in Nina is how the character is always hiding behind a camera, taking photographs and manipulating people. And I want to discuss that theme in your work, Laurent. You know, the character you play in Sunday, the character you play in Nina are controlling, they're suffocating, they're really, you know, disturbing people. And they're hiding because they're using something as a
very good question. I remember you talked about that before, and I didn't realize because sometimes we don't have a real analyze about our work. But maybe because I express myself better in movies, and when I show characters with a camera or with as a photographer or as a filmmaker, maybe it's me, but hidden by something or with a filter. Maybe in real life I'm not really in a complete reality, or maybe I'm happy to be in movies, to be in a fantasy of myself. But it's hard to have an analyze, but it's very fair it's very interesting what you noticed. And yeah, that's true.
Well, and the film floats in and out of reality. I mean, there, as you referenced with the Clouds of Sils Maria reference, they're having dinner and you think they're talking, but they're really doing this scene in the script.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you have to recalibrate where they are and who's talking. Is it Nina and Victor? Is it Victor and Rebecca? Is it Rebecca and, you know, Laurent Maria?
Yeah, it's yeah, and it was a little, it was almost a documentary of ourselves, but not totally, because we walked during 1 year and a half, so it was not totally spontaneous. But yes, the point was the goal of Victor is to make her not crazy, but to make her walk a lot, like to lose. His method is to make her lose her own habits, to forget herself the more that he can, and finally
to transform.
Yeah, he wants to transform her in an unhealthy way. I don't want to judge him, because he doesn't respect feelings, but also the result for him, because he's a kind of successful filmmaker, would be close to the truth, is what he wants.
Well, whose side should the viewer be on? I mean, it's easy to sympathize with Rebecca because she resists Victor, and that makes, you know, him more sympathetic because he wants to do this job and she's really putting up barriers. I want my day off. I want, you know, I won't be in character 24 hours. But he lies, he gets possessive, he gets manipulative. I mean, you're constantly shifting back between the two of them and who you're sort of siding with. And I think that's what keeps the film so interesting, is that you really, by the end of the film, you sort of think they both won and they both lost.
Yeah, you're right. Except maybe, I don't want to say that the end, people didn't see the movie, except someone else. But yeah, he lost Rebecca, but maybe he got a great movie. And Rebecca lost, I don't want to talk about the end, but lost maybe a potential great career, but maybe she's safe. She didn't become crazy. So
let's talk about the editing a little bit. You have some scenes that are flash forward, some scenes that are cross-cut, some scenes that are edited abruptly. You use jump takes, long takes, documentary type scenes. There's scenes that could be a fantasy, like them dancing at night, which is a beautiful, gorgeous sequence, but it could be completely unreal. What was your intent with the tone of the film and how you edited it? Because it is sort of like a documentary, but it also is like a fantasy, and you're not quite sure what to believe. It constantly carries you in and out of reality.
Yes. So about, as I wrote the movie, I know deeply what it happened. But for the audience, I heard different feedbacks. And about the scene in a blue sky, for example, for me, it really happened. It's not a dream, but maybe it's a fantasy of the ways when they dance. And so I played because the subject of a movie, Nina, they walk on a movie. Nina, it talks about to lose your mind, and so they take the characters in insane positions. It's like he wants to make her lose her mind, to get the perfect part, the perfect character. So I want to play on the fantasy also, because sometimes she's more Rebecca. I think she has she's in a dream and found a dream, or maybe she's in a nightmare. So
yes, well, it is a nightmare of sorts.
yeah.
Nina includes several lines that are repeated with different inflections and emphasis. This harks back to your short Sunday, where the same text is repeated 7 times with different interpretations. Can you talk about this idea of repetition in your work and extracting meaning from variation? Because I like the way you change things, even though they're the same way. You give them different meaning and different interpretations.
Yeah. So in Sunday, firstly, I wanted to go. Sunday, it's divided in seven scenes, and each scene, it's the same scene of different actor with different nationalities. So, firstly, I wanted to see as an actor, because I'm also actor, what is it to play with different characters of the same scenes. So, firstly, it was like an experience as an actor. At the end, the result is like a movie about a narcissistic pervert, because it's the subject of the lines. But I wanted to watch that. And finally, each scene is very different. It was like a kind of experience. I'm very interested by to know the real I'm very interested by acting in a way, by what is the true when I am good, what is it to be good. You know, you can be a bad actor and amazing, you understand? You can be very natural and boring. So the charisma, you can be very charismatic, but also not a great actor. And I'm very interested by experimenting that. So I did it on Sunday, and on Nina, it talks about that. It talks about the fact, finally, he casted, maybe not the most amazing actress, but he casted for him the most
malleable.
What?
Malleable.
Malleable, the most malleable actress. He fought, maybe. He fought.
Yes.
So I wanted to experiment that also, because I'm an actor, and I also think the physical efforts when you learn lines, when you act lines, can make you in another position than if you just act. It's what Victor thinks. Is almost close about what I think, but with different methods. But for me, yeah, it's very interesting to experiment the acting, and I never really read Stanislavski method, Meissner method, and I tried to create my own method, and I have a lot. Sometimes it's not already it's not. I don't say it's perfect, but it's very interesting for me to have your own method. Experience is your own method for me.
So as a gay man, you tend to play straight characters in your films. Can you talk about the decision? I assume it's very deliberate that you're not making queer films, you're making, just, films with characters that you find interesting.
Can you repeat, please?
I said, as a gay man, you play straight characters in your films. Can you talk about that decision? And I assume it's deliberate that you're...
Okay. No, I never really thought about that. Maybe it could sound weird, but maybe I have a fantasy to kiss Rebecca or to kiss Fiamma. And also, as we we thought about me a lot of time to act a gay character. I wanted also to show that I could play other kind of characters also. It's also a work for me to kind of work to play straight characters. But the next movie that I work on, I will be totally a gay character. So, and in Dimanche, I have a scene when I act a gay character. So it's like in Sundays there is a black actress, and people notice that, oh, you have a quota. I never thought about to put a black actress in my movie. It just happened. And it's like the story when I read them sometimes, because for example, I wrote a Sunday according to my best friend, and she has a lot of problem with her partner. So as she's straight, I wrote a straight story. But for example, my next movie will be totally gay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, it's always, I'm always curious when gay filmmakers make straight projects and vice versa. I think that a lot of times the sensitivity a gay man has can make a really good straight project, and the observation a gay man has can make a really good straight project. So
like Barry Jenkins, Barry Jenkins.
Barry Jenkins, Ang Lee.
I'm a big fan of Moonlight, and I thought it was gay, and finally he's not.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to open up to questions for the crowd here. I did, Suzanne had sent me a question in a text. She said, 2 of my favorite genres in cinema are sexual obsession and the dirty secrets of filmmaking. And your film was an intriguing blend of both. I recently watched Woman in Chains, an iconic 60s film that blends sexual obsession with the art world. What French or American influences have you had or inspired you with these themes of obsession?
Okay. If I got my French and American inspiration about obsession, it's a good question. I got well. So I love Maurice Pialat. Do you know?
Yeah, Maurice Pialat. Yeah, he did Police and
so and he's famous to be a very tough filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And his obsession in a movie. In Lulu, I don't know. Wait, Suzanne? What's her name? Suzanne?
Yeah.
The person was the question?
Suzanne.
So in Lulu, it's with Gérard Depardieu and Isabelle Huppert.
Right. Putting in the chat.
She's obsessed. She's obsessed because a guy is cheated and is obsessed by the new lover. So it's a kind of obsession. I love Abelatif Keshish, who made The Blue in a Warm,
Color.
It talks about the same. Adele is obsessed when she loses her girlfriend. She's obsessed by her girlfriend. And for American, I love, of course, John Cassavetes.
Sure.
Opening Night, for example.
My favorite.
Yeah, Gina Rollins. She's a kind of obsessed to come back on stage, but she's so scared she becomes crazy. Black Swan, I like Aronofsky. She's obsessed Natalie Portman to be the best performer, the best dancer. After I have so many well, I said Moonlight before, but Call Me by Your Name could be the young actor is obsessed by his, but it's different. But for the same subject of my movie, it could be, recently I thought about Sex, Secrets and Lies, Soderbergh.
Right, yeah. Sex videotape and Success and Videotape.
The guy is the same. He hides himself behind the camera. And I love this movie.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even think about that, but you're absolutely right. Okay, I had another question come in from Susan. I just finished reading Ronan Farrow's book Catch and Kill and wondered if Harvey Weinstein's escapades had any influence on Laurent. His character Victor made me think of Weinstein and all the other men in the book who were controlling and sexually assaulting actresses and other women.
Okay. As I said before, I wrote Nina before we shot Nina before the Weinstein
Me too. Yeah.
case, well, hashtag me too. But it doesn't really sexually assault Rebecca, except during a rehearsal, it kisses her because he wants to play the character. So normally in rehearsals, you don't really kiss, and not really the director does that. But Weinstein is an extreme serial, I don't know how to say. Yes, snuff the monster. And Victor in a movie is more obsessed by his movie. And he doesn't really, he didn't hire to assault, sexually assault. He hired to make a great movie. And it is a kind of perversion, of course, when he tries to make her in love of him. But there is no, the boundary is tricky, but there is no a real sexual assault, even if it could be.
But it's more psychological, I think.
Yeah, psychological. It's almost, well, it's not worse, but it's awful too. Psychological also, and yeah.
Okay. Other questions for the director, or you can put them in the chat, or.
Yeah, do you have a question? Oh.
Okay. Does Victor truly feel love for Rebecca, or does he fall in love with all his actors? Is Nina, in a way, about the love of the craft of acting and filmmaking? This comes from Stephen.
Yeah.
Who I think you know.
About the love of the craft of acting and filmmaking. For me, Rebecca created something special on him. It's different. For me, suddenly, normally it changed the actors immediately if it doesn't work. But when he did it with Rebecca, he was touched. It was sensitive to that. So he didn't fall in love, but when he saw her, he sees her at the end. He sees her lately. He is touched by this woman, because maybe because she left very early, maybe because she was rebel, maybe because she was different, maybe because she became really crazy as a character should be. And the love of a craft and of acting and filmmaking. Yes, yeah, you're right. It's about the love of a craft and acting. What I could say more? The love of a craft of acting and filmmaking.
Well, I think that the film definitely appreciates these things because it sets you in this world, and the fact that it floats back and forth between reality and filmmaking, that certainly helps. Yeah, and the idea that they're rehearsing real life and playing something that's not necessarily true is
it's totally right. So yeah, it's but finally Rebecca loses because she leaves, and she's not totally masochist. She loses this love of a craft because she prefers to love lives than acting and filmmaking. But Victor is totally into. He has no partner. He's probably alone because he's focused on his work. Sorry. And is we can notice he has maybe problem.
Well, we get a hint of that with the blonde woman who wants money from him, and he says, "You left the production. I don't have to pay you. Did you read the contract?" I mean, he's been manipulating other women too. We know that he's got a past of doing this.
Yeah, he's manipulative. Yeah, also he's a kind of, I think he's a kind of mean guy. I think he's selfish and very is very focused about completely. I was inspired by a director that I met. Very a single guy, very obsessed by his work. It was only that, and he didn't care about the feelings. It's very.
Are you like that as a director? Marie, do you want to answer this one?
Sorry?
Can you repeat?
I said, are you like that as a director? Do you want Marie, should she answer this one?
If I have already met a director like
No,
Victor?
If Laurent is more like Victor in real life.
No, never. But I just wanted to say that she wants to play, I think, from the beginning to the middle, or the how do we say, les trois quarts à peu près. She wants to
Please him.
to play the game. She wants to play the game as she wants to play the game for being an actress, I think.
Yeah.
And this focus and this goal, it's just like something very fluent and very, how do we say, léger? Very light, yes, for her, but until the moment where she realized that this is not her.
Yeah.
And
yeah, she gets, and then the breaking point comes suddenly. It's not something. I mean, it's gradual and then it's sudden, as opposed to it being one particular abuse that sets her off. She just decides. Yeah.
Yes. And this is a game until the moment when she says herself, "This is not my value." How do we say?
Yes,
My value. And this is, I think, it helps me for acting, and this is something as important as the kind of crazy facts that she became, you know. Que la folie. This is the same. The how to say, la folie, the
madness.
Yes, the madness is at the same level than that this problem of not recognized her for her value, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't treat her as a person. He treats her as an object, and that's exactly what Dina just wrote in the chat. I found him very scary and very intimidating. But look at the way he treated her like an object. He's completely obsessive compulsive. Look at the face that she made thinking when he got to the car and she stood outside smoking. The look on her face made me think she was wondering what was wrong with him.
So Dina and Suzanne wrote, so I found him very scared and I felt very intimidated for the film. Look at the way he treats her like an object. She's right, sorry. He's completely obsessive compulsive. Look at the way I watches. Yeah. He has a real problem. He has a real problem that he never cured. He probably never saw a shrink. He probably says, I'm totally okay. He probably thinks he's healthy. Was skeptical of him when she first met at the station when he got into the car and she stood outside. Yeah, and he doesn't try to make her relax. From the beginning, is immediately cold and not really sympathetic.
Yeah, and I think that tension helps the film because, as I said, you're feeling both sides. You sort of want him to succeed in what he's doing, but at the same rate, not at the price that she's paying for it. You know.
But I thought about that. It happens sometimes when you meet people. People are not always friendly, and I can maybe in States it's different, but for example, I spent a lot of time in England. And sometimes you can meet very cool people. They don't make you very in a nice position. It's the same in France. And people can be very cold. Like do a casting, or you can make a director, and it's not really friendly. It could be very like Victor is at the beginning, like, okay, I'm great, I'm a successful director, it's your first part, so I don't want to make effort here. So
right, and he doesn't necessarily have to make her feel comfortable because he's trying to get a performance out of her, not necessarily become her best friend. I mean, he's choosing her as the actress he wants to be able to control, not necessarily, you know, someone he wants to be with. Yeah, and I like that.
The interesting thing is that I think for Dimanche and Nina, for different movies you made, Laurent, I think the great thing is that it's not just the main character is like that, and it's you want to research why just this, why pourquoi est-ce qu'il se comporte comme ça?
Why does he act like that?
Yes, qu'est-ce qu'il a? Il y a une certaine vulnérabilité derrière, il y a une certaine fragilité.
He's probably fragile, he's vulnerable, maybe he's not that confident that he could.
Yes, and for Victor and also for Dimanche, you did a very important research on just it's not like this, it's so easy just to say he is a pervert narcissistic or he's like this. You want to make this character very human, and you want to make him just tu veux pas le soutenir, mais en tout cas ne pas le rendre coupable. You don't want making him guilty. Voilà, guilty.
Yeah, his behavior was bad, but he was doing it for a purpose. And in his mind, the purpose was to get this performance. It wasn't necessarily to abuse her. You know, it just comes across that way because of how she absorbs it. And I think that's the strength of your performances, is that we hated you, Laurent, but you were good at what you did. And we were sympathetic to you, Marie, but we felt bad you were in this position. I'm wondering, does anybody have any other comments they want to, or questions they want to ask? Bill, can we unmute people?
Sorry?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you have, I mean, as soon as you pick on somebody, well, I'll mute.
Yeah, do we want to just?
I think Dina has a question there, right?
Dina, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just going to say that he's seemed to me so obsessed that he was willing to lie. I mean, he made such an elaborate lie to his friend, you know, so that people start feeling sorry for him. He had somebody die, you know, the one who came down from Paris, the actor.
The actor, yeah.
Yeah, he had and I mean, people start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very, it's almost not that smart, because the actor could check if it's true, but it's totally, maybe it's the moment where it's totally in his creation and doesn't think about something more, something else, and maybe it starts to be a little, as Steven said before, a little in love, or he realizes it happened something. But yeah, he has no boundaries. I think he could, he has no boundaries.
Jim just put a question in the chat. Don't we think Victor gets off on being so controlling? I mean, he wants to make a good movie, but he loves to control the people around him, doesn't he? I mean, that's what his real passion is. It may not be filmmaking, it may just be the operation of control.
Yeah, he wants to control, he wants to, but he's alone also. I think he doesn't think really to have he has a team, but I guess when he walks on a set, it's probably the same, very individual, very confident about his talent, and probably he's wrong, because you need people around, you need a great DOP, you need so it's very long, and is what is scary is efficient of himself. Am I good? It's a good sentence. He doesn't need someone else than himself.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think that's sort of a spin-off of the Sunday character who's sort of in love with himself. He can break up with himself because, you know, he has no soul.
But he needs, I don't know if you remember in the movie, he needs to have sex, for example. Sometimes he needs, so the directors that I met was totally unsexual. But when he had an affair with Aisha, the actress, the seller of a supermarket, we can see he needs to have sex, and so that's why he didn't really think to do it with Rebecca,
right?
Because
that would be crossing a line.
Yeah.
Other thoughts and comments on the film? Okay. I guess that's nobody has any more comments. We can wrap it up.
Don't think Victor gets off being uncontrollable. He wants to make a good movie, but he loves to control everyone.
That was the last point we made.
Yeah. Because I just watched it.
All right. Well, thank you for the film. Thank you for
thanks for coming.
Thank you, Maria, for showing up.
I'm touched. I'm happy to see people that I saw on only like Bill, only on Facebook, and my mom and friends and Steven, Olivier, and everybody that I didn't know. Thanks for coming. I think the movie is after.
No, everybody saw it before.
Ah, great.
So that they could attend.
Oh, better, yeah. I was scared to spoil. So, oh, it was very early for you. It was noon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this film is actually was started making this film available on Friday. So what we're trying to do, instead of just mimicking what happens in the traditional in-person screening thing, we wanted to make the film more available to people for more time. So it's just like if I'm not available Sunday at 12 and available here at 2. I can watch the film when I want to watch the film and watch it again if I want to. And also, you know, we recorded all this, so we're going to play this back as well, so people can watch this again after the movie or before the movie as a marketing tool, or you know, all the above. Okay.
We got two more comments that came in. One was that Victor was very controlling and OCD and possibly a sociopath. Your acting was so good, he made my skin crawl.
Thank you, Barbara.
And the other was the first film, Anita, was very sympathetic.
It's a joke.
So what happened?
Sympathetic.
Well, it's very ironic because she lies about what happened.
Yeah, it's what I got. Yeah.
Dina, did you understand that that she's lying about attending the party?
Sorry?
You're on mute, Dina.
Oh, Gina.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Did you in Anita, the first short, she lies about attending the party. She's heartbroken.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did get that. Yeah, that's why I was almost crying, and that I just felt so bad for her that she had to lie to everybody.
Yeah.
You really got that, I thought, in a few minutes.
You don't want to make a cake after this movie. Or someone else.
I know. Yeah. She really wanted to go. And this was a son who wouldn't let her in. When her son,
the parents.
It's a grandson. It's a son who doesn't want to see her anymore. But she makes the cake for a grandson. Yeah.
For the grandson.
Yeah. Her children are angry that she's had a relationship with a woman, and so they've basically denied her privileges of seeing the grandchild.
Yeah.
They didn't want the bad influence. And the woman who played Anita is in Nina. She's the agent in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Marie is also in Sunday, Marie Chazeli. So sometimes it's nice to meet people and after to work more with them.
Thank you. I like your films very much.
Thank you, Dina. I'm very touched. I'm very touched on my movies crossed the sea.
Across the pond.
Went until USA, States. I'm very touched, and I'm feel very I don't know, close to America and your way you walk.
Yeah, Lisa asked
what's next? So I'm working on a movie about, I can say quickly the theme. It's a homophobic fag hag. That's the theme of my next movie. I will act inside too, but I work on, and it will be a future movie, so it takes time. So maybe I will try to shoot it on 2021. And yeah, it's the beginning. It's about Airbnb. When you do an Airbnb at a woman who looks very nice, very friendly, very fag, but finally she's more and more homophobic. And it's to talk about the daily homophobic daily, like little sentences that you can hear sometimes, like, oh,
microaggressions we call them.
You probably like musicals. You probably love Madonna. You know, it will be more than that, but it's to talk about people who seem very gay friendly, and finally they're not.
Yeah, I said microaggressions.
Microaggressions. Thank you.
Yes.
Microaggressions. Yeah, it's great. It could be the title.
All right. Any other feedback for Laurent while we have him? You're shaking your heads. Suzanne liked your film. Stephen liked your film.
Yeah.
Barbara liked your film. Dina liked your film. Okay.
I did. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Good films make you think.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for watching them and for coming and for the interview. I'm very touched, and I think we will see each other in real life. I was supposed to come in March, and I hope we will be able to see each other.
Yeah, when you make your next film, we'll try and show it, and that would
talk more. Yeah,
get together.
Yeah. So
thank you so much for this invitation, and sorry for my English, and sorry for the video that doesn't work. Sorry.
Your English is much better than my French.
That's very good, my my English, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Francine.
Marie, did you have a new film at?
Yeah, she's just made a movie too.
Can you tell us about it?
It's Tuesday, 6 p.m. Marie, do you want to talk about your movie?
Yes, I made a movie, a short movie. It's called Tuesday, 6 p.m. It's about the relationships of today, the real relationships with through networks and in the real life. So this is my first movie as a director, and now I do festivals. So
I'd love to see it because I curate and program short films. So
you have to send to.
I texted Laurent and
yeah.
With pleasure, with pleasure. And it's how do I say, it's subscribed.
Yeah, she has already English subtitles.
Oh, good.
Subtitles.
Good.
Yes. So that's good.
Yes.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, no, I teach a short film class. I was going to show Sunday in my class, but yes, other feedback has come in saying that it's been very informative discussion. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right.